excitement here in Seattle because Pete Carroll has come in to take over the Seahawks, and he's brought a lot of changes.
Well, and I think a lot of excitement. I think this team's going to have a chance to be pretty good, Sam, before it's all said and done. Look, they still got the best quarterback in the division in Matt Hasselbeck, and they've got a talented defense that's going to be run by Pete Carroll, which is always exciting. I will guarantee you he dials up blitz pressure all over in this game today. It's simply who Pete Carroll is.
Speaking of Pete Carroll, he's on the sideline right now with our own Chris Myers. Chris.
Pete, you've run through the tunnel hundreds of times. Back in the NFL, what's so special about this moment so close to kickoff?
Well, this is such an amazing atmosphere. I've been waiting to see it. You know, preseason was a little bit different than this. This is the real deal today. Our guys are really quick for the day.
All right, well, good luck, and good luck the entire season.
All right, see you later.
All right, back up to you, Sam, Tim.
Thanks, Chris. The San Francisco 49ers were 8-8 last season. They feel they're a lot better this season. They believe in themselves, and they believe in their quarterback, Alex Smith.
Yeah, and I do too. I think in watching Alex over the summer and talking to him yesterday, Sam, I think he's a totally different guy. I think he is poised for a super year. Now, a tremendous challenge for him today with those two rookie offensive linemen in front of him, dealing with all that blitz pressure, and more importantly, this deafening crowd noise here in this crazy loud stadium.
And the crowd noise is led by the 12th man. And today, the 12th man banner is lifted by longtime star linebacker Chad Brown, who played 107 games, started all 107 for the Seattle Seahawks. There's an excited Chad Brown to get the 12th man going. The Seahawks have won the toss. They've elected to receive. Anthony Dixon, number 24, rookie, making his NFL debut. Joe Nedney to kick it off. Leon Washington, the former New York Jet, is back deep. 2 years ago, he was a Pro Bowl star with his return game and his running.
And just an amazing story. Remember Leon Washington, broken lower leg last year. It was week 7 where he snapped both of his shin bones. And here he is out here playing in the opener. Just for him, real good story.
Team split the season series last year with the Seahawks winning here. Joe Nedney kicks it off and the season is underway as Washington mishandles the kickoff and downs it in the end zone for a touchback. And there is the man you talked about, the veteran Matt Hasselbeck, closing in on 35 years of age, but he is healthy and threw the ball very well in preseason. The guys that he'll look for, John Carlson, an outstanding tight end. Mike Williams, after 2 years out of football, is starting at wide receiver. Offensive line has Tyler Columbus starting at left tackle. He's never started a game at left tackle. Off the plate fake, Hasselbeck on first down. For Carlson, it's intercepted by Nate Clements. And Clements returns to the 28-yard line. What a start for the 49ers defense.
Well, and they were just sitting in zone coverage. And Nate Clements, who they know has to come back and have a big year. And here's Nate right here. Just watch him drop back, and he's just going to sit right in front of the corner route. Carlson runs the corner route in front of him. It's cover 3, which has got 3 deep. That is a bad throw, a late throw from Matthew Hasselbeck. And Nate Clements starts it with a big-time turnover right in Seattle territory.
31st career interception for Nate Clements. 49ers start at the Seattle 29. And this packed stadium gets loud, urging on the Seahawks defense. 2 tight ends in. Delaney Walker, number 46, lines up in the backfield. Vernon Davis is in the slot. Frank Gore carries straight ahead and gets 4 yards down to the 25-yard line. Good blocking up front by the offensive line of the 49ers. There's Alex Smith, 6th year, but took over as a starter last season in October. Frank Gore has had 4 consecutive 1,000-yard rushing seasons. Michael Crabtree in his first full season with the 49ers played 11 games last season after his holdout. Again, 2 tight ends, 2nd and 6. Short drop outside to Delaney Walker. A very tough matchup. Throughout our meetings with the Seahawks, In talking defense, they worried about the matchup against Delaney Walker.
Well, it's Delaney Walker coupled with Vernon Davis, coupled with Frank Gore on the football field. And all those guys are dual threats. So when they're all out there together, they can run it or they can throw it. And very, very tough to match up to.
They listed as a 4-3 defense. Lofa Tatupu, the middle linebacker. Clemens will roam and be the pass rusher. Tatupu is back healthy after tearing his pec muscle last year. The secondary, Earl Thomas, the rookie out of Texas, making his NFL debut. He's got great speed.
Watch that matchup.
And a whistle and a timeout as the play clock was winding down. A lot of noise on the field, and the 49ers call a timeout. Mike Singletary. Boy, you talk about the intensity of Mike Singletary. He just says, we want to find out what we're all about. We want to find out how good we are. Bring it on. Throw anything at us.
This is a tight-knit group now, and they really are about family, and they have that feeling. And Mike does not care about any of the outside forces. He worries about the guys in Santa Clara, in that facility, in that locker room. And I know in talking to him yesterday, he's pretty excited and obviously high expectations for this squad.
At the 18-yard line, Delaney Walker splits out. We welcome those of you who were watching the Atlanta Falcons-Pittsburgh Steelers game. Frank Gore carries for San Francisco down to the 15. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, and Chris Myers here in Seattle. We're just underway. Seattle had the opening kickoff, and Matt Hasselbeck, first play, a pass, was intercepted by Nate Clemens.
Yeah, and what happened is Nate was just sitting back in cover 3, which meant he had deep 30 sitting there. Carlson runs a corner route, and then watch Matt. The ball comes out late. I think he thought that Nate Clemens was going to keep going deep to take that deep vertical route. He elected to throw to Carlson on the corner, and Clemens was sitting right there poaching to pick it up.
Two tight ends. They both split out. Frank Gore on the backfield. Alex Smith likes to work out of the shotgun. Jumping across quickly was Red Bryant. Let's see if he was drawn off on a false start. Mike Carey is our referee.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 79 jumped into the neutral zone, called an immediate reaction by the offensive player. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Red Bryant, starting at defensive end, had played for a couple of seasons inside. David Boss is the center, moving over with Eric Heitman out. Boss, a former guard, now starting at center.
Yeah, played left guard here for 5 years. Now, this will be a challenge for him today, Sam. He only played 9 games at center at Michigan and has never worked the silent count in a loud venue like this, playing the center position. This will be a challenge for him.
Sorry, Tim. 2nd and 2. Gore and Norris in the backfield. Play fake, and the toss to Warren Norris. It looks like he's got enough for the first down, and he does. Just inside the 8-yard line, Aaron Curry took him down. Warren Norris in his 10th year in the NFL, and they still have a role for him. He can catch the ball, he can run short yardage, and is a powerful blocker.
And what they need to do is what we saw right there. I think first down was an issue for them last year. And talking to Alex, it was they need to throw better out of running formations, which that was right there, and then they need to run better out of passing formations on first down.
Two tight ends out to the right side along with the wide receiver Josh Morgan. Smith for Morgan. He's open. And he comes down with it. Touchdown 49ers. Good pass and a good catch by the third-year wide receiver out of Virginia Tech, Josh Morgan.
Very good throw. Now let's watch the feet here from Josh Morgan. He climbs up the ladder, he catches it, right foot down, left foot out of bounds, and I think the hip touched out of bounds, the rear end, before he had both feet down. And so I think that one's going to be challenged.
We're going to get a challenge. Pete Carroll back in the NFL. He coached previously with the New York Jets and New England Patriots.
All right, 2 feet down in pro football.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. It's being challenged by Seattle.
There's 1 foot down, and it looked like his hip and rear end touched out of bounds, Sam, before the left foot came down. Of course, one hip, or the hip or the rear end would say that he's down, and that would be a touchdown. But it looked like it hit out of bounds before Let's see here.
I agree with you, Tim.
Yeah, there's 1 foot down. Yeah, and then the rear end, the hip, and the left foot touched out of bounds pretty simultaneously. So I think that one's coming back.
So the challenge flag thrown by Pete Carroll. And the fans reacting to the replay on the scoreboard here.
And Josh knows it too. Josh Morgan, he's looking up at the Jumbotron up there, and he realizes it. They are just so multiple, this offense, and I think Josh Morgan's a big part of it. They expect him to have 70, 80 catches this year. You couple him with Crabtree and the receiver core and Ginn's speed, and then the 2 tight ends. They present, Sam, so many matchup problems for defenses, and it won't just be this defense today. It'll be defenses for 16 straight games against this 49er offense.
One of the great things about Mike Singletary is his motivational skills, and all the players talk about it. But the other thing that happened for the 49ers this year after the 8-8 season, they kept the same offensive coordinator, Jimmy Ray, 2 years in a row. That's something different for the 49ers in recent years. They were changing coaches constantly, and Jimmy Ray back is helping Alex Smith develop as a quarterback.
Yeah, and I think you can see it. I mean, the continuity is very important around this league, and that's a big problem in the league with firing coaches every 2 or 3 years. But it's obvious. Alex has taken ownership of this offense. I was out at their mini camp. I was at the summer camp, and he is making all the right decisions. I think talking to him yesterday, he said early in his career, Sam, he pressed way too hard. And it's obvious now. Didn't get sacked during the preseason. He has become a much better decision maker, understanding where he fits in this offense. I expect a big year from him.
Mike Carey has come out from underneath the hood, checking it out, and we will get his decision.
After review, the receiver's right elbow hit down out of bounds before the left foot. Seattle's not charged with a team timeout. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line.
And we welcome those of you who are watching the Carolina-New York Giants game. The Giants winning that game 31-18. Coming back in the second half, Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Chris Myers at Crest Field in Seattle. Pete Carroll making his debut as head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. His start of his 5th season all-time as an NFL head coach. 49ers 2nd and goal at the 8-yard line. Frank Gore stumbled and falls forward to the 6-yard line. For those of you just joining us, 49ers with an interception on the first play from scrimmage by the Seahawks. Pass thrown by Matt Hasselbeck. Nate Clements with the interception. And the 49ers threatening the score here. 3 wide receivers in. Ted Ginn comes in. That's Lofit to Tufu, the middle linebacker. Smith gets time. Out to Frank Gore. And he's brought down on an excellent tackle by Kelly Jennings, who's starting at cornerback. They traded away Josh Wilson to Baltimore, kept Kelly Jennings, and he's taken over as the starter.
Yeah, former first-round pick. He's just going to drop into a quarters coverage, which means he has the deep quarter. Alex chooses to just hit the little out route underneath to Frank Gore, which they call the no-cover zone. And then they just rally up and hit it. I mean, Seattle will give those little 3- and 4-yard routes all day long and then just jump up and make a tackle.
So now the 49ers will settle for a field goal. 23-yard try. Joe Neddy, the kicker, out of the hold of Andy Lee, and the kick is right through. So the 49ers, after the turnover, the takeaway on the interception, put 3 points on the board to have the early lead on the Seahawks.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Here in Seattle, the San Francisco 49ers put 3 points on the board. Thought they had a touchdown, but the review overturned it. Leon Washington is back deep receive the kick from Joe Nedney. Washington comes up, takes it at the 6. There's a lane to the outside. He finds it. Nedney slams into him. And Washington goes down after an outstanding return at the 47-yard line. Washington is back. He's healthy and hitting.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
Number 78 is the starter at left tackle, Tyler Columbus, who was with Denver, with Detroit, traded here to Seattle. The Seahawks are without their first-round draft pick, Russell Okung, who's picked 6th overall and is out with a high ankle sprain, may still be a couple of weeks away.
Tyler Columbus out at left tackle is going to have his hands full today against the Cowboy Justin Smith. There he is. Now his assignment is going to be to block 94, and there's no way I think he's going to be able to get it done. And that's a classic two-gap scheme style right there. As you saw Justin Smith stand up, lock out the arms, read which way the running back cut, disengage, and make the tackle. That will be a tough matchup for Columbus all day.
The fake by Hasselbeck in trouble. He got rid of it to John Carlson, the tight end, and he gets down to the 49ers 47-yard line. Takeo spikes with a blitz, and Hasselbeck able to find Carlson, the tight end.
And they talk about wanting to run the ball, that being the Seahawks and Jeremy Bates. You know, and I know talking to Matt yesterday, he said we always have a plan against San Francisco to run the ball. And then we realized early in the game that they're pretty darn good, and it really ends up being a fast-paced football game. Hasselbeck and shotgun getting it out quick.
There's a Pete Carroll gimmick. They have the bunch formation. They all run out to the right side. The quick pitch outside to Deion Branch. And he gets inside the 45, but he's short of a first down as Patrick Willis came over and made a good tackle on Deion Branch.
Well, they said expect the unexpected is what Mike Singletary told us yesterday, and Greg Minuski, the coordinator. And I don't think they expected this based on, you know, they looked like they weren't prepared for it and getting out there to defend it, but you can't teach the speed that Pat Willis just came down the alley with and made the tackle.
They really run to the ball well. John Ryan in the punt. That's Ted Ginn Jr., used to be with Miami, brought in to be not only a wide receiver, but a return specialist. Waits for a fair catch, bounces behind him, and is downed inside the 10-yard line by the Seahawks. Right at the 10, the 49ers will take over their second offensive possession with a 3-0 lead.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by The Social Network, in theaters October 1st, rated PG-13, by AT&T, Rethink Possible, and by Ram Trucks.
San Francisco 49ers had 2 first-round picks. Number 11, they picked the right tackle, number 76, Anthony Davis. Number 77 was picked at 17. That's Mike Upati out of Idaho.
Do you think they drafted to what they want their personality to be? I think it's pretty obvious.
2 tight ends in. Frank Gore, the running back. Straight ahead. Couple of yards. And coming in late was the rookie safety, Earl Thomas. Colin Cole, number 90, led the way.
And I think this group up front needs to really set the tone for Seattle all season long, because they are talented. Does a great job there of reading the down block scheme, presses right into Upati, and then gets himself a tackle near the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 7. Crowd noise gets louder. Smith with a short drop, and he finds Vernon Davis, who breaks 1 tackle but gets a first down. Vernon Davis had a breakout year last year and now is one of the captains on this team. He is Pro Bowl star, 78 catches, 13 touchdown receptions.
And just got paid.
That's right.
With a brand new deal with $23 million in guaranteed money. The guy's phenomenal. He really is. And 13 touchdown catches last year. I think only had 9 in his first 4 seasons. He's a terrific blocker, outstanding receiver. he may be the fastest guy, Sam, on this football team at 255 pounds.
And he's become a big-time leader on the team as well. Smith on first down, gets protection, completes to Josh Morgan. Up to the 29-yard line. We have our first update coming our way. Let's go to Kurt Menefee.
Controversial finish in Chicago, down by 5. Detroit, Sean Hill hooked up with Calvin Johnson. Both feet and body down, but getting up, ball comes out. They review it. They say he did not finish the process of getting a touchdown catch. No touchdown. Lions lose 19-14 to the Bears. Jim Schwartz and company livid. Sam, Tim?
I can understand. We were debating it up here, Kurt.
I wasn't. I thought it was the right call. You got to finish the process.
Frank Gore fighting his way ahead, but comes up short of the first down. He's at the 30-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 1.
Watch Lofa Tutupu here. You're going to pull around right here with Yapati, the first-round pick. There is no push from the offensive lineman. Watch Lofa Tutupu set the edge right there. Whoa. Low man wins in this game. Yapati came around with the high pad level to kick out Lofa Tutupu and then got blasted right in the mouth. Love having this guy back on the defense. Sam only played 5 games last year.
He's healthy and he's back with his coach, his college coach, Pete Carroll. 3rd and 1. Smith with time and completes it to Delaney Walker. Alex Smith with a great start to the game, now 6 for 7. And a first down, San Francisco. We go to the sideline to Chris Myers.
Sam, Seattle, the reputation of the noisiest outdoor stadium, and this noise meter shows that it's been more than 100 decibels throughout the first quarter. Now 50 decibels, a normal conversation. 120 is when pain and damage begins to the ear. The 49ers, with those rookie offensive linemen, practiced with steady noise, but they practiced so much during the week with noise that the Santa Clara residents at their facilities called the police on them and said they were making too much noise.
They're bad neighbors, Chris. First down, 49ers at the 44-yard line. Smith under pressure, completes to Vernon Davis into Seattle territory. Ball popped loose, but I believe it was down. And it's very close to a first down. Lawyer Malloy has come out of the game for Seattle at strong safety, replaced by Jordan Babineau.
Great example of Alex Smith getting to his second read right here. This is the matchup he wanted. Crabtree on Curry. He's going to look there. Curry does a nice job on the little pivot route. So now he's got to come backside, that being Alex Smith, to Vernon Davis right in the middle of the zone. Good job by Alex. Looking at the first read, looking at the matchup he wanted, seeing it was well covered, and then getting to read number 2, finding the tight end.
It's 2nd and less than a yard. Kentwan Ballmer, the former 49er first-round draft pick, is in for Seattle, number 95. At defensive end, Crabtree motions. There's Frank Gore. And Gore with good leg strength, keeps driving, gets a first down at the 44-yard line. Good drive by the 49ers, which started at their own 10.
And I think talking to Jimmy Ray, and I got to spend some time with Frank over the summer too, and he is absolutely ready to go. And quietly put together 13 touchdowns last year. And what Jimmy told us yesterday, the OC, said, you know, despite all the spread stuff and the good stuff we did last year, this team, this offense still starts and stops with number 21, Frank Gore.
Chilo Rachel out for San Francisco on the offensive line, replaced by Tony Raggi. Smith throws, completes to Gore out of the backfield, and another first down, or close to the first down. We have another update. Let's go right back to Kurt Menefee.
Third straight meeting, the Falcons and Steelers have gone to overtime, but this one ended quickly. Richard Mendenhall, 50-yard touchdown run to say goodnight. 15-9, the Steelers get the win in overtime over the Falcons. 8 straight opening weekend victory for Pittsburgh. Longest streak in the NFL, Sam and Tim.
Oh, that's a good streak. Thanks, Kurt. All field goals into overtime, then Mendenhall with a touchdown run. Alex Smith, 8 for 9, 58 yards. 2nd and 1. Frank Gore finds the opening and is brought down. Frank Gore has had 2 of the greatest games ever against Seattle. In 2006, he ran for 211 yards. Last year in San Francisco, he ran for 207 yards. And in that game, he had 2 touchdown runs of 75 yards or more against the Seahawks to become only the 2nd player in NFL history, along with Barry Sanders, to do that. A dangerous runner. 10th play of this drive. First down, 49ers at the Seattle 29. Toss to Gore. Couple of blocks, trying to get outside. Nice tackle by the rookie Earl Thomas. The 1st-round draft pick. Second pick in the 1st round for Seattle. Thomas making the tackle.
Yeah, and here he is right here. And watch him, which we like to call sifting through the trash, which means he's got a lot of action down around his legs here and slips right underneath Anthony Davis and gets himself a very nice tackle. They love this kid. They love his speed, his tenacity. Very good tackler out of Texas, Sam. And I think more importantly, they see him. He's playing free safety, but they see him as a guy that can really match up and cover receivers like a corner.
Raheem Brock, number 98, in on the defensive line for the Seahawks. Smith on 2nd and 14. They stop the play. A false start.
False start. Awesome. It says 6. 5-yard penalty is still 2nd down.
No more false starts in the league than you have right here in Seattle.
And think about this, 11 for the San Francisco 49ers last year, and it wasn't all here, obviously, but throughout the season, and that was the most in the NFL. That's an area that Alex has got to get better at in terms of understanding and managing that play clock.
They piped in crowd noise at the 49ers practices all week. In fact, even in the walkthroughs, as Chris told us earlier, to try and get them ready for this crowd. 2nd and 19. Play fake by Smith, wanted to set up the screen. Frank Gore's got it. And room inside the 20. And steps out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Good job by the 49ers of setting up the screen pass, and Gore turns it into a 1st down.
Well,
a pickup of 23.
And Alex got exactly what he wanted because he's got both of his receivers over here. They move the corners over there, so Alex knows right away it's man coverage. So you get one guy blocked in man coverage, and you got big yards. David Boss got the block on Will Herring, and then Frank Gore makes a big pickup. But anytime they put 2 receivers to one side, 2 tight ends to one side, Sam, and the defense moves the corners over with the wideouts, the offense knows it's man coverage.
End of the 1st quarter. On the road, 49ers a good start. They kicked a field goal to take the lead. They're driving right now. 3-0, they lead the Seahawks.
Hope you're enjoying the NFL on Fox opening weekend from Seattle. And during this drive, a couple of Seahawks starters out with injury. Clemens with an ankle injury, so Dexter Davis is in for him. And Lawyer Malloy, the veteran safety with vision problems, hit hard. He hopes to return. Let's go back to Sam Rosen and Tim Run.
Thanks, Chris. And right now, Raheem Brock has come in at defensive end for the Seahawks in that spot that Chris Clemens had. On 1st and 10 from the 15, the pass intended for Crabtree, almost intercepted. Went through his hands and then through the defender's hands. Kelly Jennings covering on the play.
And that's a good play. Kelly Jennings is head-up alignment playing man coverage. Crabtree's going to try to take the slant inside. Watch Jennings come from behind with that left hand and swat it out. Ball location wasn't great. Could have been a little lower into the paths of Crabtree. Alex threw it a little bit high. Gave the opportunity for Jennings to get a pass breakup. Good play.
Former defensive nose tackle for the Cowboys, Junior Ciavi'i, number 94, is in for Seattle. Pass to Gore. Inside the 10, close to the 1st down marker. He's out of bounds just inside the 7-yard line, short of a 1st down. Aaron Curry chased him out. There's Aaron Curry. 4th pick overall in the draft last year. They expect a lot more from him this year.
Well, he's got to play better, and no question about that. And I think this new move to the new defense, which is an under defense, and he becomes a line of scrimmage player. A guy at the point of attack on the line of scrimmage. Was not real good in coverage. They want to see him rush the passer better. They want to see him set the edge better in the run game. But boy, does he have a lot of talent.
3rd and a yard and a half. Have to get to the 5-yard line. Gore hit short of the 1st down line. And a Good job by the Seahawks up front of getting to the ball, getting to Frank Gore, and keeping him short of the first down.
Now what's the fill on the fullback right here is Moran Norris. Hawthorne's going to get in there, loaf it to Tupu, and that's just really good work by David Hawthorne, hitting it with his inside shoulder. So if Gore would have cut back, it would have went right into Tupu. Gore tried to pop it out, and Hawthorne kept his outside arm free and made himself a nice tackle.
49ers going for it on 4th and inches. And now a timeout for San Francisco, their second timeout of the first half. Decision here for Mike Singletary, inches short of a first down. Pete Carroll firing up his team and his defense. 4th and inches at the 5. The play fake, the pass to Gore, to Moran Norris, it's overthrown. The play was there, it would have been a touchdown, but the pass was too high for Moran Norris. They gambled and lost. An 85-yard drive comes up empty.
Boy, 11 wish he had that one back. Moran Norris was so wide open, there's nobody close to him.
Today's game is sponsored by Coors Light, the new Silver Bullet aluminum pint from Coors Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL. By KFC Double Meat, Double Cheese, Double Bacon, Double Awesome, the new KFC Double Down. And by Cadillac, the new standard of the world.
Well, Mike Singletary has to be a little bit upset. His team has gotten in the red zone and unable to put it in the end zone on 2 possessions.
Sam, go back to their loss here. Their only division loss last year up here in December. And there were so many plays like that, missed opportunities for the 49er offense, and they walked out of here a loser.
Only the 5th offensive play of the game for the Seattle Seahawks. Justin Forsett carrying and no gain on the play. Their first offensive play, first play of the game, was an interception thrown by Matt Hasselbeck. Then they went 3 and out on their next possession. And they've only had the ball for 2.5 minutes in the game.
And you are not going to block these guys. Watch the flow by everybody. And watch Sapuaga right there playing the left defensive end's got his outside arm free. That is textbook how you play it up. Brea Franklin slides down the line, forces it to pop. Sapuaga sitting right where he's supposed to be for the tackle.
Hasselbeck outside, dropped off the hands of Mike Williams. They'll bring up a 3rd and 11. Shawntae Spencer covering. Mike Williams, drafted 10th overall in 2005 by the Detroit Lions out of USC, where he played for Pete Carroll. Went to Pete Carroll in November after being out of football for 2 years. He got last year, the second year, said, I want to get back in shape. Pete said, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, good for you. Good luck. And he was 260 pounds, and that's why Pete kind of looked at him like, all right, man, good luck. Go for it. Next thing you know, he came in here for a minicamp tryout weighing 229 and earned himself a roster spot on this team.
Here's 3rd and 11. Hasselbeck throwing short to Forsett. But he comes up way short of the first down as the 49ers all over it. Patrick Willis was there. Harris Harrelson was there. And so was Ray McDonald. So another 3 and out for Seattle.
And I'm telling you, this 49er defense, this is their 4th year together collectively with all 11 guys. And Greg Minuski, their coach, and as good as Patrick Willis is, and Taquillo and those linebackers and up front, yes, they want to get better in the secondary, but I really believe that defense is ready to take the next step and become great.
John Ryan's second punt. Ted Ginn takes it at his 47. Good return, and he was run into hard. And he was slammed down on the play by Dexter Davis, defensive end, playing coverage on the punt cover team. 49ers get the ball again with a 3-0 lead and good field position. Back in Seattle, 49ers 3rd possession starts at the Seattle 37. Shiloh Ratio back in at right guard. And a stinger. Play fake by Alex Smith. Pressured, ball is loose, and it's recovered by Anthony Davis, the right tackle. Seahawks got there. Red Bryant knocked the ball loose. And Davis, the rookie, with a recovery.
He's the one that gave it up in terms of the pressure. Here comes this big pass rusher right here in Red Bryant. Look at him take the inside. Nice inside move. Boy, he's nifty for a big guy. Now, Anthony Davis got beat, but still had the wherewithal to keep his head in the play and got himself a nice fumble recovery. This guy, Red Bryant, they're looking at him as a run defender. I think you see why Pete Carroll told us the guy's got some wiggle to him, too, as a pass rusher.
On 2nd and 14, Gore straight ahead for a couple of yards. Inside the 39. Gore has been limited to short gains in the run game.
Well, the thing with Frank Gore is Seattle knows this, is you can stop him, you can stop him, you can stop him, and then he hits a big pop. He's historically known for that. So far, so good. And I'm telling you, Big Red Bryant, number 79 there, is a huge part of this new scheme that Pete Carroll has installed on defense.
3 wide receivers in. Vernon Davis, the tight end, is in the slot. They have to get to the 27 for a first down. A lot of movement. Flag goes down. Smith under pressure throws it away, but I believe it was a false start. Check it out.
Neutral zone infraction on the defense. The left end jumps into the neutral zone, causing immediate reaction by the offensive lineman. 5-yard penalty is still 3rd down.
Pete Carroll doesn't understand that call.
Look at these guys, are all going to come. Yeah, it looked like Aaron Curry out on the edge was the guy that was in the neutral zone before the ball was actually snapped. But Pete Carroll wants to get this offense in the 3rd and long situations, and then he's going to send the pressure. You just saw right there a couple of linebackers coming. I would expect we continue to see blitz packages, linebackers, safeties, corners coming throughout the next 2.5 quarters.
3 wide receivers out of the shotgun. Smith pressured, finds Vernon Davis. Davis fighting his way close to the first down line. Looks like he's going to be about half a yard short. Got to get to the 27-yard line. Seattle's starting to get a little more pressure on Alex Smith.
Well, I think they emotionally got a real charge stopping him on the 4th down. Alex didn't make a good throw to Moran Norris. Could have been a touchdown, wasn't. I think Seattle's got a nice shot in the arm here. Time of possession, though, their offense is going to have to start moving the sticks. Brutal in time of possession, Sam. Last year in the summer, this defense eventually will wear down if the offense can't chew the clock a little bit.
And once again, on 4th down, it looks like the 49ers will go for it, but now Alex Smith is waiting. I think he's going to call another timeout. He does. They've used up all their timeouts in the first half. It's 4th. Fourth and just under a yard for the 49ers, who have a 3-0 lead.
Today's game is sponsored by Chevrolet. Every model is backed by a 100,000-mile, 5-year powertrain limited warranty.
Once again, Mike Singletary elects to go for it. Joe Nedney stays on the sideline, the field goal kicker. It's 4th and less than a yard. Last time, they had a good play fake and a pass for Moran Norris, but it was too high. Here's the 4th down play. Smith out of the shotgun for Michael Crabtree. First down. And he's out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Singletary going for it. And an easy play.
If I was San Francisco, I up tempo. Clearly they're having some issues with rhythm and dealing with the play clock and this crowd noise. That time, I mean, busted coverage there by Seattle as Crabtree motioned over and then went out to the flat. But I would expect San Francisco to start getting the up tempo, getting to the line of scrimmage quicker at least, to give themselves some time to make some checks. Sam, they don't have any timeouts left, which means they can't challenge for this half. Of course, when it gets under 2 minutes, the challenges will go upstairs to the booth.
2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, and Frank Gore. The end around to Delaney Walker. Trying to turn the corner, slips Chris Clemens. Turns it into a nice gain, close to 10 yards. Delaney Walker listed as a tight end, but he looks like a wide receiver and has great speed.
And he's coming right out of the slot here. He's so multiple. You'll see him here. He's going to run the reverse and then just watch his speed, because Chris Clemens has got some heat now. Number 91, Clemens, the defensive end, and he turns to try to flatten out on Delaney Walker. Delaney turns on the Jets and goes right by him. He needs more touches. I think in his first 4 years, he has not touched the football enough. He is a major, major matchup problem.
They're bringing the chains across from the far sideline to measure. He went out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. That's where the first down marker is, so they will check it out. Mike Carey is our referee. The ball has belonged to the 49ers here in the first half. They've had possession 17 minutes, 32 seconds. The Seahawks just 3 minutes, 39 seconds.
And Seattle again, going back to last year, major problem time of possession, and the same deal in the preseason. That offense has got to move the sticks, figure it out.
Well, we're also watching baseball on Fox right through the end of the regular season and into the playoffs. This week on Fox Saturday Baseball, it's the San Diego Padres, first in the National League West. The St. Louis Cardinals second in the Central, and it all begins at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific on Fox. First down on that end around by Delaney Walker. First and goal inside the 10. Smith completes to Walker. He scrambles forward to the 3-yard line. Lofa Tutupu with the tackle.
He runs routes like a wide receiver. When you look at Delaney Walker, and here he is here, and he's just going to get on Aaron Curry, showing Aaron Curry that he's going to the flat, puts on the brakes, and just sticks it right back inside. And again, taking advantage of Aaron Curry in coverage with Delaney Walker or Vernon Davis. I think we're going to see a lot of that in this game today.
Cam Chancellor, number 31, big safety, is in for Seattle, straight ahead on the run. And Frank Gore gets down to the 2-yard line. Bring up a 3rd and goal. The 49ers have been inside the 10-yard line 3 times and have come up with only 3 points to this point of the game. A 15-play, 85-yard drive came up empty last time. Warren Norris in the backfield. It's Norris, the fullback, and he can't power his way in. He's shoved back. And one of the players involved there was Cam Chancellor and Lofa Tutupu as well.
Yeah, watch the big guys up front, though. Really set the wall, and then 51, Lofa Tutupu is going to come in and clean it up. Colin Cole just stands up David Boss. Mebane eats the double team. They get no movement on him. Lofa comes and flies in with a big fill, makes the hit, and then gets more help from the other defenders.
And Mike Singletary's going for it again. 4th and goal inside the 1. Do you believe this? He's 1 for 2 on 4th down.
You know what it is? He absolutely wants to give his offensive line and his offense confidence. He believes in his defense. That's what these calls are about.
And he's out of timeouts and the play clock is run out. That's a delayed game. Crowd noise, tough getting the play in. Now the field goal kicking unit is coming on.
Now let's remember some of the coaching errors here last year at the end of the game. And, you know, I think the timing and dealing with this crowd noise and dealing with the play clock clearly has been an issue in the first half.
So Joe Nedney comes out for his 2nd field goal attempt.
You've got to be ready for every single situation and be ready to react and react quicker than they've been reacting.
Ryan Jennings, the long snapper. Andy Lee is the holder. Nedney puts it through, and the 49ers have a 6-0 lead. They have dominated time of possession. Mike Singletary, we have to have an offensive line with bite. Trying to get it with those youngsters. Back for the 2nd year this year is Lunch with Benefits. Log on to foxsports.com, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday, and you'll see one-of-a-kind sports shows online. Tomorrow it's Jay Glazer, the after party. Top performers from today will join Jay. Tuesday, it's Coach Speak. There's Taylor Mays, second-round draft pick, and he's from Seattle. Short kick, and running up to take it, Leon Washington. Ran into one of the 49ers. That was Phillip Adams, who took him down at the 30-yard line. 17-yard return. Matt Hasselbeck and the Seahawks looking for their first down.
Glad you're watching the NFL on Fox from Seattle, where it's close and noisy. And Mike Singletary, whose team has had the ball for 20 and 24 minutes, came over to his offensive line sitting on the bench moments ago after they failed on 4th and 1 for the second time in this game. And I'm paraphrasing, but he basically said, look, I want to be able to go when it's 4th and 1. I want to count on you. I don't want to have to throw the ball. I'm counting on you. I want to go. Let's go. Let's get your act together. Let's rejoin Sam Rosen and Tim Rock.
Thanks, Chris. Good report. And we talked about wanting to have that offensive line with bite, and he needs those big young studs to push people back.
As lopsided as this game is, Sam, with the stat number, only 6 points to show for it, and it's easy to see why. The offensive line is not getting movement in critical situations against that defensive line. Seattle's D-line has played well, and then the missed opportunities. Josh Morgan not getting both feet down on that early touchdown, and then Moran Norris wide open on a little play action pass, and Alex Smith just missed him.
Julius Jones in at running back. Seahawks start from the 36. There was an offside penalty on the kickoff to San Francisco. Jones slithering through the hole. Gets across the 40 to the 41-yard line where Patrick Willis stops him. And for those of you watching Fox, we tell you that we bring you the ultimate NFL viewing, the HD experience. Even if you don't have an HD set with widescreen, viewers watching in standard definition, seeing small black strips, that's okay. At the top and bottom of your screen, you're seeing more of the field. Julius Jones carries again, short pickup. And now a 3rd down coming for the Seahawks, who have not had a first down. Julius Jones reworked his deal. He was about to get released by the Seahawks. Reworked his deal to stay in Seattle.
You just wonder how long it's going to take for that running game to find its rhythm, especially with Alex Gibbs and him retiring their offensive line coach just a couple of weeks ago.
Ben Obamano in as a 3rd wide receiver on 3rd and 4. The pass almost intercepted as Nate Clements was upset that he was being held by Deion Branch, the wide receiver. A flag has been thrown, and we'll check this out.
I think it's going to go on Nate myself.
Defense number 22.
Okay.
5-yard penalty and automatic. First down.
Clements thought that Branch was holding him.
Well, he definitely was right there undercutting the route, read the route, got underneath it, tried to make an interception. Branch was holding him. Do you see Deion Branch holding his right hand? Now, Clements has got his opportunity, his right to the football. Branch held his arm so he couldn't get it up. There was no question that was offensive pass interference.
Hasselbeck off the play fake. Nobody open. Looking, faking, and then having to run, and it runs out of bounds at midfield. Hasselbeck showing good mobility after 2 straight injury-filled seasons. 2 years ago, a back problem. Last year, a rib problem.
And I think everybody wondering, in this offense, with all the movement, all the edge plays, and all the stuff, all the movement stuff it takes from the quarterback, if Matt, being almost 35 years old, has the legs to still do it, I think he does. And just talking to him the other day, I'll tell you what, 03 to 07, when he was up here, he was as good as anybody in the league.
3 tight ends in for the Seahawks on 2nd and 7. One first down in the game. And coming on the penalty. Short drop, Hasselbeck, pressure, throws, and completes it to Cameron Moore. The tight end, the 3rd tight end, and a first down as the offense starts to move for Seattle. Just across the 49ers 40-yard line.
Good job by Matt. That's why Matt's so good right there in year 12. Read the defense, read a corner blitz, was coming off the slot, and then found his tight end just sitting down in the zone right in front of Nate Clements.
Jones back in. Quinton Ganther lines up to the right side of the line. Delayed to Jones, and he is hit and shoved back by Manny Lawson. Ball down to the 37-yard line.
I think Manny Lawson has always been a good run defender. Now they want him to get it juiced up in the passing game, but here's a pretty good example of how he can defend the run. Watch him just disengage off of John Carlson, get right back to where he was supposed to be as the force guy, and wrap up Julius Jones. And when you're a force guy on defense, that means you've got the edge. You can't let anything get outside you. You keep your outside arm free. He did it perfectly.
Again, 3 tight ends. The fake. Hasselbeck's got a man open, and he completes it to Mike Williams. And Williams to the goal line. And he is down at the 1-yard line. Welcome back to the NFL. Mike Williams, 35-yard pickup. Deshaun Goldson took him down short of the goal line.
I think Nate Clements guessed on the route, and Nate has been known to guess and to jump on routes. He may have done it in the first quarter with the interception. He thinks Mike Williams is running an out. He jumps it. Mike Williams runs the out and up. Perfect throw from Matt Hasselbeck. And I'm not so sure that he went across before that knee was down.
Hasselbeck rolling, trying to get to the corner. He dives. And
Pisco, you still got the legs. You still got the legs.
Hasselbeck takes it in. What a big point of this game for the Seattle Seahawks. They have the lead. The first time the offense moved the ball. 64-yard drive, 7 plays. Matt Hasselbeck, a 1-yard run. He dives for the pylon, and he puts it in.
Well, I asked, does he still have the legs to do it? Well, he's got the legs enough to outrun Travis LeBoy in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown. All set up on that big play to Mike Williams, the out and up. And don't think for a minute that Jeremy Bates and Matt Hasselbeck didn't design that in the film room during the week, knowing that Nate Clements loves to bite on routes. They laid down the bait as an offense. He bit it, and Mike was able to exploit it with the big throw to Mike Williams, or Matt, excuse me, with the big throw to Mike Williams.
So after the 49ers had dominated time of possession, the Seahawks finally find some life in the offense. Matt Hasselbeck connects with a couple of passes. Seahawks drive 64 yards to take the lead, 7-6. Hasselbeck 5 for 7 for 56 yards.
They were also able to run it just enough on that drive, I think, Sam, to give their defense a much-needed rest. To chew that clock a little bit.
Ted Ginn back deep, and a return 2 kickoffs for touchdowns in a game last season against the New York Jets. This one goes all the way through. Mike Williams, quite a story. A great collegiate player at USC under Pete Carroll. And he made some questionable decisions. He could do it all in college. Catch the ball, big receiver, but he could also throw the ball. Threw a touchdown to Matt Leinart. He came out. Detroit drafted him 10th overall. He failed in Detroit. He went to Oakland for a while, didn't get it done. 2 years out of football, here he is back. And a big 35-yard play.
And clearly talented, clearly with his weight down at about 230 pounds. Look, this guy wanted to get to the NFL. He came out early, didn't have to sit a year. And then I think just really forgot what it took to stay in the NFL, which was tremendous hard work. I think he has recaptured that.
Now the 49ers from their 20-yard line. Alex Smith working out of the shotgun. The inside handoff. Frank Gore finds a lane. A good pickup of 7 on first down. And a flag comes in. We will check that.
Holding. Offense number 84. 10-yard penalty is still first down.
That's on the wide receiver, Josh Morgan. Lawyer Malloy is back in at safety for the Seahawks after going out earlier.
This team's got to quit hurting themselves, and Mike Singletary knows it. That was the big problem up here last year. Again, in that game was self-destruction, missed opportunities, mistakes, leaving a lot of big plays on the field.
Ball back to the 10-yard line. It's 1st and 20. 6 defensive backs in for the Seahawks. And they whistle a play. And stop. They've reached the 2-minute warning. We step out for a moment. The Seahawks have the lead, 7-6. That's Gus Bradley back for his second year as defensive coordinator. A holdover for Pete Carroll.
And it's good to have the continuity there, but you connect the dots on that one easily. Pete Carroll and Monty Kiffin, great friends. Monty Kiffin gave a great endorsement of Gus Bradley, who worked with him in Tampa. Easy decision for Pete to keep him on.
49ers are out of timeouts here in the first half. 3 wide receivers in on 1st and 20. Smith to Crabtree. Good tackle on the play by Marcus Trufant. Trufant wasn't 100% physically last year. He's healthy this year and could be a big factor on Gus Bradley's defense.
Yeah, that was obvious as he started the season on PUP. If I'm Gus Bradley, I am pumped the way my defensive line has been playing in this first half. I mean, some critical situations. They have stuffed the running game. If you stuff Frank Gore, you've always got a chance against the 49er offense. Colin Cole, Mebane, Red Bryant, Raheem Brock, Clemens, those guys up front have played well in the first half of this game.
Seahawks called timeout to conserve some time, hoping they'll get the ball back. Next week, week 2 on the NFL on Fox. It all begins with the all-new Ford Edge Drive 1 pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Big game early, Bears and Cowboys. Seahawks will go to Denver, Rams at Oakland. And a whole lot more on the NFL on Fox. 2nd and long. With 3 wide receivers in. Alex Smith throws over the middle to Vernon Davis. The clock will move. It's a first down for the 49ers up at the 25-yard line. Alex Smith 14 for 17. Pickup was 12 yards. It's not a first down. My apologies. It's going to be a 3rd and 5. It's been quite a start to the season for both these teams. Early on, it looked like San Francisco total control of the game, but now the Seahawks have some life.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, they are believing what Pete Carroll's selling here in the second quarter of this game. And it really seems like since he got into that defense's head and was yelling at him, they have really responded.
Here's 3rd and 5. Smith trying to find somebody, and it's intercepted. Jordan Babineau's got it. On the return, Babineau is pulled down inside the 15. It went off the hands of Michael Crabtree, the intended receiver, and Babineau picked it off.
How happy are they that they re-signed that guy, Jordan Babineau? Alex is going to climb up here in the pocket. Now watch him throw it to Crabtree. He pivots back inside. Hit him right high on the left shoulder. Was not a very accurate throw. Probably had too much velocity on it at that short of a range. Tipped off the shoulder pad, and Babineau picks it off.
Pete Carroll was so excited the official had to get him off the field. But Jordan Babineau, who was released on cutdown day and then brought back in.
And he had a huge game in that win last year here in December. Big play for that defense right there.
3 wide receivers. Hasselbeck with time, throwing to the corner. Touchdown, Deion Butler. First career touchdown for Deion Butler. The second-year man out of Penn State holds on to the football. And the Seahawks taking advantage of the 49ers' mistake. Olindo Mare for the extra point. Seahawks with a 14-6 lead. Wow, what a turnaround in this game.
Well, the 49er defense, they got to be more patient. You're going to see Terrell Brown here. He's going to jump this hitch. Look at him get upfield, double move, easy touchdown. We saw Nate Clements jump an out route earlier. It was an out and up. That time it was just a hitch and up. Terrell Brown jumped it, thought he had the hitch. Hasselbeck baited him right into it, pumped it out there, and then threw a perfect strike for the touchdown.
13-yard touchdown pass from Hasselbeck to Butler. And the Seattle Seahawks, who were down 6-0 and had only 7 offensive plays for about 4 minutes to go in the first half, and suddenly they've turned this game around with 2 scores. And now the 12th man reacting.
And this is the worst thing for the San Francisco 49ers with this crowd noise, which has already been a problem in the first half. And now to give them more life. As Singletary told us yesterday, I said, how are you going to deal with the crowd noise? He goes, we're going to control it. We control it. That's basically going out and getting points on the board and getting the crowd to sit on their hands. Clearly that hasn't happened with how Seattle has responded big time here in the second quarter.
There is some wind in the stadium. Lindo Mare is teeing it up. Alex Smith coming out, getting ready to come out. Mark Valero, the offensive line coach, talking to his guys on the bench. It's Ted Ginn Jr. back deep. Mare's kick into the end zone, brought back by Ted Ginn. Looking for an opening, trying to swing wide. And the Seahawks have it well covered. They went sideline to sideline, but only got back to the 10-yard line. That's Roy Lewis, the captain of the special teams unit. Roy Lewis. A great addition to our Fox Sports football coverage is Mike Pereira. He's in the Fox Command Center for 9 years. He was in the NFL Command Center as the head of officials. He knows what's going on. He's watching every game. And if there are questionable calls and a chance to explain it and clarify it, we'll go to Mike Pereira.
Yeah, what an awesome addition. You know, people will say Brandon Marshall was the biggest acquisition in pro football last year. I disagree. Mike Pereira, without doubt, the biggest acquisition in the NFL.
The handoff to Gore inside. Shiloh Rachel was hurt on the interception. And second injury he sustained in the game. Adam Snyder has replaced him at right guard. Stay with us for the Visa halftime report. Back in the studio, Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy will have scores and highlights from around the league. And of course, our Fox Sports ticker keeps you up to date with up to the second stats. All coming up on the Visa halftime report. Second and 10. Pressure from the outside. Clemens got a hand on Alex Smith, and that's what they want from Chris Clemens, is pressure from the outside.
Yeah, and they're going to show blitz. Here's Clemens over here. They push everybody and then walk them back, and then you see the speed right there around Joe Staley, because Joe Staley is very athletic and he can move. Chris Clemens, interesting story. The guy's got 20 sacks and has never been a starter. Has waited 6 years to be a starter in pro football. Has been with 5 teams so far through the preseason, and early in this game, I know Pete Carroll is loving what that guy brings as a pass rusher.
There's third and 10. The handoff to Gore. He slips. And he is brought down short of the 15-yard line. The Seahawks use a timeout with 26 seconds remaining in the first half and a chance to get the ball back.
Well, and they're believing too. They are absolutely believing the red zone. They haven't been able to get it done. San Francisco missed opportunity there. Big tackle here by Kelly Jennings on Frank Gore. And then 4th and 1. Moran Norris wide open. Alex did not make a good throw. And then they get down to the 1. They have no timeouts left. They get a delay of game. They got to kick it back and then kick a field goal. So they have had issues, Sam. In the red zone, they've had issues with the crowd clearly in this game.
They thought they had a touchdown on the pass to Josh Morgan, but on review, on a challenge, it was reviewed and overturned.
And again, I think you got to give a lot of credit to the defense. Gus Bradley's defense and the way Pete Carroll has got these guys believing now. Kelly Jennings with a big-time play, and that defensive line, they have really set the tempo at the line of scrimmage in the run game.
First punt of the game for the 49ers. Andy Lee at the goal line. Justin Forsett is deep for Seattle. Pressure on Lee, gets it away, and Forsett slips a tackle. And trying to find some room, and he's spun down. Good job of coverage. Navarro Bowman, the rookie out of Penn State, with the tackle. 46-yard punt, 5-yard return. Last season ended with a bombshell. Where's our House coverage? There's House. Monday, September 20th, House returns. An all-new season of shocks, surprises, and a premiere that will have everyone talking. One of the great shows on television. House premieres Monday, September 20th on Fox. Deion Butler in as a third wide receiver. No timeouts remaining for either team. Julius Jones in the backfield. Takes the handoff and is brought down by Travis LeBoy. LeBoy, who was out of football last season, making a comeback. And that's the end of the first half. Early on, it was all San Francisco, but they only put 6 points up, and then the Seahawks came back and had the lead at halftime. We are back in Seattle on the opening day of the NFL season for the Seahawks and the 49ers. And after a rough start for most of the first half, the Seattle Seahawks found their game. Matt Hasselbeck got things going, and they forced a turnover. And suddenly they find themselves, despite being out-statistic by San Francisco, they've got a 14-6 lead.
Yeah, they have been hammered in total yards and time of possession. But I'm telling you, Matt Hasselbeck, as the veteran quarterback in this division, and I still think the best quarterback in this division, first play of the game, he throws an interception by a gambling Nate Clements, and then he laid down the bait on 2 big plays, calling up double moves for his wide receivers. Clements bit on the first one. He hit Mike Williams for the big game down to the 1. And then obviously the Deion Branch play, also a double move on the hitch play. Here they are right here. Watch, Nate Clements is going to bite the out move, and you're going to see Mike Williams take it up the field, and he's going to get all the way down to about the half-yard line. And then right here, you see the hitch and go. You see Terrell Brown, 25 there. He bites on the hitch, double move. There's Deion Butler in the corner of the end zone for a touchdown. And I guarantee you that was all by design. Matt Hasselbeck knows these 49ers, knows their personnel, knows Nate Clements likes to take a lot of chances and their aggressive defense, and he got him to bite the cheese twice.
The Seahawks will kick off, and you can only imagine what Mike Singletary was thinking, but Mike Singletary, a couple of his decisions will be called into question. His decision to go for it on 4th and 1 at the goal line failed after an 85-yard drive. They came up empty.
Well, their offensive line, Sam, can't get any movement at the point of attack and open up a crease for Frank Gore. Clearly a problem, and they haven't managed the play clock very well at all.
Line drive kick is deep in the end zone, and Ted Ginn downs it. And we go downstairs to the sideline where Chris Myers is standing by with always good information.
Well, Sam, a bubbly and effervescent Pete Carroll came out and said, the players did their job, but we connected with the crowd, and that's part of what we had to do. And he said, you know, I like to blitz a lot. We haven't brought it yet. We hope to do that in the second half defensively. Meanwhile, a very firm, a calm, but collected kind of Mike Singletary said, I'd like to get Vernon Davis involved. They said, heck, I'd like to get anybody involved in offense who can put the ball in the end zone. And on the offensive line, Shiloh Rochelle, who's come out twice with pinched nerve, is questionable the rest of the way.
Thanks, Chris. 49ers start from the 20. Alex Smith was 15 for 20 in the first half. Rolling, nobody open. Now he throws too low. Intended for Michael Crabtree. Michael Crabtree, who did not play in any preseason games. There was some concern about his football conditioning. And there's Adam Snyder replacing the injured Chilo Ratio.
Yeah, and he's been in San Francisco for a while, has logged over 50 starts, most of them out at right tackle. I think he's a better guard. And they got good depth. I mean, they're starting the 2 rookies, but they got depth behind them, guys that have started and played a lot of games up front in this league. That's a big asset.
2 wide receivers, 2 backs. Moran Norris, the fullback. The delay to Frank Gore, trying to find a hole, not much. Good job by the Seattle defense. They have held the 49ers to about 2.5 yards per carry.
Well, you can't move them. They're not getting any movement up front. Would you read earlier? Mike Singletary wants an O-lineman and offensive line with some bite. Well, there's the 2 rookies. Let's see if we get any movement right here front side at the point of attack. No way. I mean, Brandon Mebane, who's a very underrated player for Seattle, stands up Adam Snyder right in the hole, forces the ball to cut back inside where the linebackers are waiting for. This D-line has played terrific in the game for Seattle.
49ers 1 for 7 on 3rd down conversions in the game.
Watch Ted Ginn up here.
Everybody out. And the pass intercepted by Marcus Trufant. Hops over 1 man. He's going in. Touchdown. Seahawks defense sparking the turnaround. 2nd interception of the game for the Seahawks.
Well, you have to wonder if Alex Smith and Michael Crabtree are on the same page. He runs an out, and Alex is going to look right out to his right and throw behind him. Yeah, he ran the out. That was just a bad throw from Alex. Trufant was sitting right behind it in the zone coverage for the easy interception, and the pick 6, taking it in for a touchdown.
First touchdown of his career for Marcus Trufant, 32 yards.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By Lowe's. Lowe's, let's build something together. By the new Ford Edge, the world has never seen a crossover quite like this. And by Bud Light, it's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
And a correction, that was the 2nd return for a touchdown in his career for Marcus Trufant. The defense has been big, coming up with big plays at key moments.
And again, the turnovers were big, the interceptions, but look at that, what they've done to San Francisco on 3rd down. 1 conversion on 3rd down for the San Francisco 49ers. The money down, terrific defense.
Bouncing kick taken by Ted Ginn, gets across the 20 and is brought down. Matt McCoy, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, comes in, does his job on special teams.
I want you to watch Crabtree right here, who did not play in the preseason. He runs an out route. You're going to have him here, and let's watch what Crabtree does coming out of the slot. Okay, I believe he was supposed to sit down right in the hole right there. Alex Smith, I think, thought he was going to sit down right in the hole right there. He kept on the out route. Alex threw it behind him. Trufant with the pick 6 touchdown.
2 tight ends in. Vernon Davis and Delaney Walker. Smith being chased and is hit hard as he was chased by Aaron Curry. And they want pass rush from Aaron Curry, the 2nd-year linebacker out of Wake Forest, and he was chasing Alex Smith.
Well, this guy, a top 5 pick, you can see he's got great skills. Again, they want him more on the line of scrimmage, defending the run and doing that, rushing the passer. And Alex can run now, can really run. So you saw Aaron Curry, a good example there of his terrific athletic ability, running him down and making a clean hit as the ball was let go.
And they bring on the 12th man as well. Delaney Walker lines up in the backfield. Smith wanted to put it up deep, goes short to Walker. He drops it. It's ruled incomplete as he was hit by David Hawthorne. Hawthorne had an outstanding year last year. When Lofa Tatupu was injured, he stepped in at middle linebacker and led the team in tackles.
And they've gotten enough pressure on Alex to where he's not seeing guys down the field. This is a 4-man rush. They got 7 in coverage. Vernon Davis wide open behind the linebackers in front of the safeties. And Alex, because he's running back there and has not gotten comfortable since about the first quarter, couldn't find it.
Junior Ciavi'i is in on the defensive line. Will Herring is in at linebacker. And Roy Lewis is a fifth defensive back. 3rd and 10. Movement on the line. Check out the flags.
Before the false start, Deland, offense. 5-yard penalty for the third down.
All right, so they didn't get the playoff.
And now it's 3rd and 15, and they led the league in delayed games last year. They have not managed the play clock well here today at all. Crowd noise, major factor. Plays clearly aren't coming in quick enough. I'm telling you, this offense has got to get into some type of a hurry-up mode.
Alex Smith started the game 9 for 10. He starts the second half 0 for 4. 3rd and 15. They have to get to the 33 for a first down. Flag on the play. They're going to stop it.
I think it's probably going to be another false start.
Yeah.
On Anthony Davis, the right tackle. Curry was on him.
No,
it's on Aaron Curry.
59 defense jumps into the neutral zone, causing an immediate reaction. 5-yard penalty is still 3rd.
So there's the 5 yards back for the 49ers. Brings up 3rd and 10. Boy, Pete Carroll, who's still he's got that college enthusiasm with him.
All about energy and enthusiasm, and they believe in him. And I know that with all of his success at USC, that it's so much different for him this time around. Remember when he followed Bill Parcells in New England?
Yeah.
He didn't have a chance. He got here with all that college success, and a lot of these guys who were in college when Pete was doing his thing at USC, he said he could feel the respect when he got here.
They bring the blitz. Smith throws under pressure, and he threw it away. Chris Clemens got there with a hit, and Smith released. Chris Clemens getting his first chance to start in the NFL. He's with Washington, with Philadelphia, with Oakland. There's a late flag. Did they flag him on that for the hit?
10-yard penalty.
No, intentional grounding.
4th down.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, there was nobody out there. Alex was just getting rid of it before he got blown up by Chris Clemens. Pete Carroll sent Lawyer Malloy and Clemens running a little twist game where Lawyer Malloy came up inside and then popped outside and had Clemens come underneath. Alex had to get rid of it. There was nobody out there. He was going to get sacked and hit hard.
49ers are throwing the ball a lot to start the second half and have been unsuccessful. 0 for 5 is Alex Smith to start the second half. Andy Lee's punt is a good one. Justin Forsett at the 39. He's hit immediately. Phillip. No, that's Terrell Brown. Got down there with good coverage on the play. 48-yard punt. And Brown for the immediate tackle on Justin Forsett. But the Seahawks have themselves a 21-6 lead.
There's head coach Pete Carroll talking to last year's number 4 overall pick, Aaron Curry. And they know this guy's got to get better. They watched the tape last year. And they got him in this scheme where I think he's been much better going forward than backward. Now, he's had a couple issues in coverage today, but whenever that guy's getting upfield, whether he's defending the run or rushing the passer, I think much more suited to his skill sets.
From the 40-yard line, Hasselbeck's pass for John Carlson draws a flag. Now, the 49ers are claiming it was an uncatchable pass. Takeo Spikes appealing to the officials. Officials talking it over. There's Carlson, the intended receiver. Ben Hamilton has come in at left guard, replacing Mike Gibson for the Seahawks. Here is a 10-year veteran.
And I'll say this, before long, I think you're going to see, obviously, Okung out at left tackle when he gets healthy. He's dealing with a high ankle sprain, the number 6 overall, their first-round pick in there from Columbus. And I will bet you before long you'll also see Chester Pitts, a recent acquisition, in there playing left guard.
Chester Pitts signed as a free agent from the Houston Texans.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 32. 15-yard penalty, first down.
It's called on Michael Lewis, the safety.
Uncatchable or not, you cannot go helmet to helmet with somebody, and it's Deshaun Goldson. It's not Michael Lewis. There, it's 38 right there, Deshaun Goldson. But there it is. Helmet, whether it's helmet to helmet or helmet to neck, anything from the neck up, if there's contact, is going to be called when the receiver's defenseless, even if the ball is really uncatchable. So that's a good call by the officials, and again, a big point of emphasis is they've even expanded that rule more this year for player safety on the defenseless players.
15-yard penalty, 8th penalty of the game on the 49ers. 3 tight ends in from the 49ers 45. That's the Carlson. He turns it into a first down. Takeo spikes, takes him down. Let's check out the #1 pick overall, Sam Bradford. Here's Kurt Menefee.
Looking like the #1 pick. 4th down just before halftime against Arizona. Bradford hooks up with Laurent Robinson for the touchdown, tying the game with the Cardinals at 10 in the 3rd quarter. One other game in the 3rd quarter, Philly and Green Bay. Kevin Cobb out with a concussion. Michael Vick now the quarterback for the Eagles. Sam and Tim.
See Michael Vick and the Eagles in Detroit next week. Hasselbeck under pressure, throwing outside, finds Mike Williams. There's a flag on the play. Williams out of bounds at the 49ers 15.
He is so big. That time he came out of the slot. Shante Spencer's a good corner, but he rode him and had his hands on him.
Defense number 36 is declined. Play results in a touchdown.
You can't carry him past 5 yards, but it didn't matter because Mike Williams has got such a big body coming out of the slot. He's going to attack the leverage point and hit a corner route. There you see Shante with his hands on him. Perfect throw from Matt Hasselbeck. Loves throwing to that big target. And I'm telling you, Jeremy Bates, the offensive coordinator, hopefully can envision Mike Williams with that big body out of the X receiver and other things becoming a Brandon Marshall, who Bates had in Denver, obviously prolific.
Hasselbeck on first down, throws and completes to Deon Butler. Another flag in on the play. And Butler is down just short of the 5-yard line.
I think we're going to get OPI on John Carlson. Offensive pass interference, I believe, Sam.
All right.
Pass interference. Offense, number 89. 10-yard penalty is still first.
All right, that time the Seahawks hurt themselves as Carlson gets called for the penalty.
You cannot block. You cannot have contact with somebody right there while the ball's in the air.
That's the call.
And I guess that's the call. It looked like he was almost just trying to get out of the way of. That was the backers that gave him a little chicken wing there.
Back to the 25-yard line. First and 20. Michael Robinson, the former San Francisco 49er, just picked up after he was released. Seahawks picked him up. Versatile player. 26 and a fullback. Hasselbeck gets time. Looking for man. Dumps it off to Robinson. And Robinson takes it inside the 15. And down to the 12-yard line. 13-yard pickup. Mike Singletary couldn't have said nicer things about Michael Robinson. What a good player he is, what a good person he is. Great to have on the team, but they couldn't get him on the field in enough offensive situations. They released him. Seahawks picked him up.
And they loved picking him up. The guy was a special teams captain. And he does have some skill sets right there now, as you see what he can do. They're just going, what did I say in the first half? Right to the fast pass for the Seattle offense.
Swing it out to Justin Forsett. Nice moves. He's got a first down. Oh, great fake on Shante Spencer. Faked him out of his shoes. And takes it down to the 3.
This guy is so elusive when you talk about Forsett. And watch, Shante Spencer's going to come flying up. Whoop, right there, puts the left cleat in the turf, cuts back inside and gets another 2 or 3 yards for the first down. Very, very elusive player. 5'8", but not short. Powerful.
Ben Obamano in is a third receiver. Now they go 4 wide receivers. First and goal from the 3. Hasselbeck to Williams. He dropped it. Second drop of the game for Mike Williams. Made a big catch in the first half. He joined us late. A 35-yard catch and run that set up a touchdown.
Talking to Matt yesterday, and we mentioned it in the first half, Hasselbeck, he said again, and, you know, we always think coming into the game, and even Batesholz, we want to be 50-50, we want to run. Matt says we always have that plan against San Francisco, and then they realize they are darn good up front at the line of scrimmage. Tough to run against, and I end up spreading them out and throwing it all over the place. Clearly that's been the plan so far here in the second half.
Robinson and Forsett in the backfield. Second down, throwing the fade, incomplete. Try to get it to John Carlson. He was covered again by Shawntae Spencer.
I don't think Carlson ever broke it off. He's going to go up and run a wheel route. So he's going to go here, but he broke it off way too late. You see how he held, going horizontal? He needed to get vertical quicker than that on the wheel route.
Third and goal at the 3. Matt Hasselbeck is 10 for 14, 121 yards. One touchdown in the game. 3 tight ends in. Chris Baker, Cameron Mora, and John Carlson. Blitz coming. Hasselbeck throws. Deion Branch, touchdown! I don't know if Pete Carroll can believe it.
The look on his face said exactly that. That is awesome. Look at him. 13 personnel, 3 tight ends to one side. 13 when I say that, 1 running back, 3 tight ends. 3 by 1 with the receiver over to the short side all by himself. Back shoulder throw, perfect strike. Spencer never saw it coming.
28 straight points for the Seahawks.
Wow.
They lead the 49ers 28-6. The offense has joined the defense. Good pass, Branch turning and making the grab.
Today's game is sponsored by Pizza Hut. Your favorite place to serve your favorite pizza. Your favorites, your Pizza Hut.
Back in Seattle, the Seahawks with a big lead. There is the offensive coordinator.
You know how those pictures work on the sideline right there? There are 2 pictures of every play, Sam. There's a picture right before the snap, so they can see what the pre-snap read looks like. And then the second picture comes right after the quarterback takes his hand off the ball, which when the quarterback takes his hand off the ball, it's the cue for the photographer to snap the shot because he knows the ball's coming out, and it gives the coordinator and the quarterbacks good looks at then what the defense is doing.
Ted Ginn on the return got through one wave and then is brought down by Earl Thomas. Back in Seattle, Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Chris Myers, where the Seattle Seahawks, coming after all the personnel changes, 27 new players on this team, have put together quite a showing after they got rolling late in the second quarter.
I can't tell you how impressed I am with all those new faces, which usually mean issues early in the year. Really played well.
Off the play fake, Alex Smith rolling, looking downfield, and finds Vernon Davis. Davis out of bounds at the 44-yard line. A first down for San Francisco. We go down to Chris Myers.
Sam, John Schneider, who's running the Seahawks, was telling me before the game, you know, the 180 transactions from last year, half the roster is new, and he learned under Ron Wolf. He helped put the Packers team together. He said what attracted him to Pete Carroll was that he could recruit freshmen, young players, and even if he had juniors or seniors who played well, he kept bringing in talent and kept it competitive. But he said our model is to get big, strong, athletic players, much like the rival San Francisco 49ers.
Thanks, Chris. Nate Byam is in as a second tight end. Frank Gore carrying, bursts through the first level and gets a first down. Good run, best run of the game for Frank Gore as he gets into Seattle territory near the 45. Lawyer Malloy tripped him up.
Talking to Pete, I said, what are you doing with all these roster changes? I mean, was it that bad when you got here? And he said, not necessarily. I mean, they certainly had to clean up some issues, but he said, I'm trying to get this team right now. He said, you got to have realistic goals, don't you? I am trying to put the best players on the field, get right now. It's been working in this opener, that's for sure.
2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Short drop, Smith throws to Nate Byam, the rookie out of Pittsburgh. His first NFL catch, and he takes it down to the 40-yard line. So now San Francisco looking like they're getting their offense into a little bit of rhythm. but throwing a lot here.
And there's a lot of time left. Look, and I know being down 22 points is a big margin, but with all the weapons they have on offense, with a veteran group against a defense who's still trying to learn the scheme and play together here in week 1, although they've been very, very good here since about the second quarter, San Francisco's still got a great chance.
2 tight ends to the right. Off the play fake blitz by Curry. He missed. Alex Smith. Smith looks, hit as he throws, and that's downfield incomplete. Chris Clemens came in with the hit on Alex Smith after Aaron Curry missed him on the blitz. Bring up a 3rd and 5 for San Francisco. Chris Clemens very quick off the ball. They'll try to move him around to get him some room to rush the passer, and he's done a good job in this game. Raheem Brock is in at the other defensive end. Ted Ginn in as the 3rd wide receiver for San Francisco. Smith throwing deep for Ted Ginn, and he missed him. Marcus Trufant got a hand on him, thrown a little behind Ted Ginn, and the defense does a good job of holding.
Yeah, again, not a great throw there by Alex, because Ted Ginn had a step on Marcus Trufant, and even Alex said, look, I haven't played with a guy like Ginn who can take the cap off of a defense with that speed. He can get vertical quick. He did there. It looked like if Alex would have laid it out in front of him, he would have had an opportunity to make the play. The throw was behind him.
After a 9 for 10 start, Alex Smith 8 for his last 19. 3rd punt of the game for Andy Lee. Nose down. Sends it off inside the 5. It gets into the end zone. Terrell Brown was down there, just couldn't get there. They're down it inside the 5. Seahawks will start from their 20 when we come back. Don't forget, our football coverage doesn't end when the games are over. Stick around for the OT with Kurt, Terry, Howie, Jimmy, and Michael, bringing you interviews, highlights, look ahead to next week. America's #1 post-game show, the OT, presented by Lowe's, coming up right after the football game. Right here, Seahawks from the 20. Hasselbeck throwing, and it's incomplete.
Finally brought Patrick Willis right up the middle. That may be one of the first times that Hasselbeck has taken a nice shot and made it to his backside. You'll see Willis here. He's going to delay, and then he's going to shoot right up inside. Right there, wide open, just attacking the protection. Forced Matt to get it out before he wanted to, and forced an inaccurate throw to the slot vertical receiver.
One question about the 49ers is, can they get to the quarterback? They don't have that elite pass rusher.
Well, I think they're hoping Ahmad Brooks is that guy who, of course, is out with a lacerated kidney.
Flag on the play as Leon Washington took the toss from Matt Hasselbeck, and a loss of 3, and we'll check out the flag.
Holding, offense number 60. 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
That's Max Unger, the right guard, called for the hold.
Look with the 49ers, you mentioned not having an elite pass rusher, a guy that changes protections. Look what they did last year. They had 44 sacks, which was terrific. 26 of those, though, in division, and then 10 other opponents have only 18. So it tells me schematically they know how to manufacture and attack in division, but have some problems with teams they don't play nearly as often.
And they have guys out there that have gotten to the quarterback. They're hoping Travis LeBoyd will be one. Justin Smith had 6.5 sacks last season.
Manny Lawson's the guy I think that they really, and they've been saying this now for a couple of years, the former first-round pick, is the light's got to go on. He's got to take the next step.
Ethan Jones and Justin Forsett in the backfield. Hasselbeck throws for Forsett, and Willis right there as he caught it to take him down at the 22-yard line, and that'll bring up a 4th down. The penalty and some good defensive work by the 49ers force a 3 and out.
Yeah, and Patrick was all over it there, but I'm so impressed with Matt Hasselbeck at almost 35 years old, and he said they treated him like he was 40 in the preseason. He said they really took it easy on me. The guy can still play. It's obvious. There he was on his way down. Still has enough arm strength and velocity on the football to make a very accurate throw.
John Ryan's punt to Ted Ginn at the 28. Avoids, Roy Lewis, who was the first man down. Again with a good return up to the 39-yard line. And now, as part of our Fox football coverage, we have a special treat. We bring in the coach, Jimmy Johnson, from our studio in Los Angeles. He's been checking out the game. Jimmy, it's great to see you. What are your thoughts about the way this game turned around for Seattle?
Well, obviously, San Francisco missed opportunities the first half, but I think teams are going to look at this game and they're going to say, listen, if you keep Frank Gore in check, keep him down, it's going to be difficult for Alex Smith to make the big plays because it really limits what he can do as far as his bootlegs and his play-action passes. No explosive plays for San Francisco.
Here are the 49ers from the 40-yard line. Smith gets time, nobody open. Looking and running, and he finds Vernon Davis. And a pickup of 8 up to the 48-yard line.
Hey, Jimmy, when you look at all these new faces here with Pete Carroll, and they got 27 new faces, new players on this football team, are you surprised at all at how well it's gone here early on? And I know he's got a good staff and he's got a good quarterback, but a lot of new players usually means issues early in the season.
Well, I relate this a little bit to when I went to Dallas. I think Pete Carroll's going to have an advantage for a couple of years knowing these college players, just like he knew Mike Williams. He's been in his home, he's recruited, he's coaching. Not only players that he's coached, but also players that he's recruited against.
There's something you talked about moments ago, Jimmy. They stopped Frank Gore. Short of the line
like
of
I said, he's the key. He's the key. If you keep him in check, Alex Smith's going to have a tough time getting explosive plays.
Jimmy, from the coaching standpoint, how they've managed the play clock today and dealt with it. We've seen some delay of games. We've seen some false starts, obviously the crowd noise, but talk about that a little bit.
Well, anytime you've got crowd noise like what you've got there, you've got to make sure you don't change your cadence a lot. It looks like Alex Smith's trying to change his cadence, and it's hurting the San Francisco 49ers more so than it is Seattle. They have too many false starts.
There's 3rd and 3 for the 49ers. Everybody out. Smith throws too high for Frank Gore. Once again, pressure from Chris Clemens, and Clemens has done a good job. You know, we talk about Pete Carroll's enthusiasm, Jimmy, but one thing that Pete talked about was he felt that there was a greater level of respect for him now than he had in his previous stints as a head coach in the NFL.
Please, all these players playing, they know what happened at USC. They have respect for what he did at USC, so he's got credibility coming right in. Just like I had credibility coming from the University of Miami when we won national championships.
Forsett slips the first man down. Tries to get outside, and a good return by Justin Forsett up to the 19-yard line. Jimmy, as you watch the game, the 49ers had chances early in the game. First 3 possessions, they're in the red zone. They're down inside the 10, and then they only came away with 6 points.
When you play the style of play that San Francisco's got as far as running the football, playing defense, being somewhat conservative with a dink and dunk type offense, your margin of error is so small. You have to be perfect on everything. They weren't perfect. They didn't make the 4th down tries. They had to take field goals, too many penalties. So not being perfect on the road with their style of offense, it makes it a difficult time for them. Plus, Seattle's playing great defense.
Thoughts on the O-linemen? 2 first-round picks, Yapati, Anthony Davis, and you just said it. Seattle's playing great defense. Singletary said we want O-linemen with bite. Jimmy, they've had no movement at the point of attack today.
Well, that's why you got to credit the Seattle defense. And I think the style of play, what Seattle's doing, you know, they kept it in check there early, but once they got the opportunities with the interceptions, they went down the field. They got the explosive plays. San Francisco, no explosive plays.
Hasselbeck hooking up with Deion Branch brings up a 3rd and short for the Seahawks, and certainly the good thing for Seattle is they've kept the crowd in the game, and that's got to be a big factor for them, Jimmy.
Yeah, I think you got to credit that crowd, though, regardless, because it didn't look good early. You know, Seattle has, what, 5 first downs the first half?
Yeah.
But the crowd, they're so loyal to their football team, they hang in there. And so them hanging in there throughout the game, I think, has helped.
How much of those 2 big plays by Hasselbeck in the first half with the defense biting on moves, Jimmy, were by design, knowing how aggressive those guys are?
Well, you know, They know their players, and Hasselbeck's a veteran, and he's healthy now. You talked about it in the first half. You know, he's been injured the last couple of years, but he's back healthy. He's able to move. He is able to run in for the touchdown. So I think we're going to see a better year out of him this year than what we've seen the last couple of years.
And there was the hookup with Mike Williams, the big receiver. Short pickup, but good enough for the first down. Moving the chains as we get later here in the third quarter. Good job by Matt Hasselbeck. What about running the game and watching Seattle? They haven't run the ball at all, Jimmy. Is that something that has to concern them? Here, Washington.
You got to look at your opponent. You know, San Francisco plays outstanding defense against the run. So Seattle, you know, like I said, they didn't turn it over. They had the one interception in the first half, but you know they didn't turn the ball over that much. You know, they stayed in the ball game until they got their opportunities. One thing, you know, Pete Carroll, you talk about being a college coach going to the pros. He challenged that first touchdown, so he knows his rules.
Yep, and Jimmy, you're all over it in terms of the run game because you're not going to run on San Francisco, and I think they do get better though as the year goes on. Once Pitts gets out there and Okung, their first-round pick.
Yeah, we've seen it with all of these games today. You know, the defense, I think they're a little bit ahead of the offense, and we had quite a few games today that we thought there was going to be a lot of scoring. Wasn't a lot of scoring. The defense a little bit ahead of the offense right now.
And it looks like they're at least trying to run the ball now with Leon Washington in there. They've got three different backs, and then with all the changes, what about all the personnel changes? You were through that as a coach, Jimmy. How tough is that on the team and the organization as a whole?
It was difficult, you know, for me when I went to Dallas. You know, they talked about we had a revolving door every Tuesday. We'd bring in players, work them out, and then sign them. We actually worked that. We signed him. He was in the team picture on Friday. We played him on Sunday, and I cut him on Monday. So that happens. That's what happens with a first-year coach.
Jimmy, I think a big difference, though, when you look at it is when you got there, you didn't have a quarterback that was in his 12th year and had been to Pro Bowls, and you didn't have a lot of pro coaches on your coaching staff. I think a couple of things that certainly Pete has here.
Yeah, Pete's got the experience. When I went to Dallas, I didn't know anything about it. I'd never been in pro football, and most of my staff, we'd never been in pro football. So I retained one on offense, one on defense, and special teams to help us make that transition. Pete hasn't had to do that. You know, Pete's entire coaching staff, they've got pro experience.
Ben Obamano with that last catch for a first down. On the 46, Leon Washington with a carry. And a short pickup as Seattle tries to...
Well, they're going to pound it out. This is their 17-minute drill. Sam, come on, I mean, chew the clock.
Jimmy, the 49ers, from their standpoint, it looked like they dominated the statistics in the first half. Psychologically, what do you think a game like this can do to a team? I mean, they came in with such high expectations of themselves.
Well, they're going to be disappointed, but they're going to look back and evaluate this game and they say, listen, we had the opportunities. You know, we could have if we'd have taken advantage of the opportunities we had. And they still played good defense, just like that sack right there.
Yeah, Travis LeBoy, the guy they brought in, there's a guy who was did not play last season because of injury. Jimmy, great to have you with us. You're welcome on our telecast anytime you want. Just jump on in.
All right, guys, it's 28-6. They're going to run the football and we'll try to run this clock out.
Awesome, Coach. Thank you.
Okay.
Coach Jimmy Johnson joining us from the studio and giving us his perspective of the game. Travis LeBoy getting the first sack of the game for the 49ers. It's a 3rd and 13. Seahawks have to get to the 44 for first down as the clock runs out in the third quarter. Matt Hasselbeck coming over to the sideline, but the Seahawks have taken command of this game. Defense and offense combining for a 28-6 lead. Back in Seattle, Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Chris Myers with you. Glad you're with us on NFL kickoff weekend. And this big crowd here in Seattle has really been treated to their team coming alive with a 28-6 lead. 3rd and 13 for the Seahawks at their own 42. Deion Butler in as a third wide receiver. Hasselbeck dumps it off to Mike Williams. And Hasselbeck went down the field looking to block. He ran down the field. Williams comes up short of the first down, and the Seahawks will be forced to punt.
I think if you're Pete and you look at how this game has gone for the first 3 quarters, you've gotten a little bit from everybody, and you got to be elated. I mean, Matt has played great, laying down the bait and then exploiting the defense with a couple of big throws, had the nice run. Defensively with the touchdown to Trufant, they've had a nice return by the kickoff return team. So all 3 phases, OD and special teams, Sam chipping in.
John Ryan from Regina, Saskatchewan. It's hockey country. Big high punt. Wind holds it up. Fair catch raised for by Ted Ginn at the 20-yard line. Now the 49ers have to find a way to get their offense going. They're a long way down.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Devil, from the mind of M. Night Shyamalan. This Friday, Devil, by Sprint, the Now Network, and by Subway Restaurants. Eat bold with Subway fiery foot-long subs. Subway, eat fresh.
12th man has been a factor for the Seahawks. It's given them a big lift. 5 defensive backs in. Roy Lewis is the 5th defensive back as the 49ers start from their 20-yard line.
Let's see if they blitz this empty set. They choose to play coverage.
Empty backfield.
They're showing it. And then bail.
Smith gets it off and completes it to Josh Morgan. He's out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Let's go to Chris. What's happening, Chris?
Well, Sam, from behind the 49er bench, a day of frustration with Alex Smith, and it's only one game the start of this season, but in his 6th season, given what he's been through, and the 49ers favorites to win the NFC West, this is supposed to be the year for him with the weapons he has. And he did tell us through his frustrating points earlier, it was about rushing things, not realizing the length of the game and the length of the season. Well, this may be a situation he needs to rush things and hurry to try and rally the 49ers.
Thanks, Chris. 2nd and 3. 3 wide receivers in. Smith gets time, and he finds Ted Ginn. He's brought down by Kelly Jennings, but a first down at the 45-yard line. Good throw by Alex Smith.
And Ginn's come up gimpy there. Looked like an ankle or a knee. So he ran that deep in cut or dig route. Alex had time to throw it to let it develop. But you know what? I think Alex also in year number 6, just on Chris's report, will also realize it's only week 1.
Hurry up,
a lot of football left.
Hurry up offense. Smith moves and throws to Dominic Ziegler. And he makes the grab and is brought down at the 45-yard line. Ziegler, the 2nd-year man out of Baylor, coming in as Ginn went off. And here's the hurry-up offense. Now here's the situation with the umpire where the quarterback's got to get the okay that the umpire's in position. He's got it. Smith with time, throwing deep, and it is intercepted. No, dropped. Lawyer Malloy had it and dropped it. The pass was overthrown for Vernon Davis.
And Lawyer knew he was going down the seam the whole way. This is Tampa 2, where you have Lofa Tatupu there down the middle of the field with Vernon. But Alex Smith shows his hand by looking at Vernon. Obviously the main threat. Lawyer Malloy saw it the whole way, was able to break from where he was playing in the deep half and almost had himself an interception. Could not control it and finish the process, Sam, all the way to the ground.
Lawyer wanted that. He wanted that. 2nd and 10. 6 defensive backs in.
Here comes the pressure.
Gets rid of it quickly to Vernon Davis. Short gain on the play. Down to the Seattle 43. Jordan Babineau made the tackle.
I remember talking to Pete at the owners' meetings, months ago, and he talked about Lawyer Malloy. So I want to get that guy back on the Seattle Seahawks. Lawyer only started 1 game last year. He is going to be a big asset as a blitzer, as a run support guy, and a big asset for the rookie, Earl Thomas, the free safety.
Have to get across the 35 for a first down. The pass too high. Intended for Ziegler, well covered by Kelly Jennings. Jennings, in his 5th year out of the University of Miami, a former first-round draft pick, has played a good game. Well, they had the option. Josh Wilson was here. They traded him to Baltimore because they felt Kelly Jennings could be the starter. He lost his starting job last year. He stepped in here. He's done a good job.
Yeah.
5th punt of the game for Andy Lee.
No doubt. And I also think Roy Lewis was part of that equation, as was their 4th-round pick, Thurman. They like those young players and their upside.
Good high punt. Just Justin Forsett lets it bounce. And the 49ers down it. The long snapper Brian Jennings down to down it. But the Seahawks have the ball and a 22-point lead. Some big individual performances today. Peyton Manning, 40 for 57, 433 yards, 3 touchdowns. But Indianapolis lost to Houston. Arian Foster ran for 231 yards. How about that?
That dude is a bell cow and is what they've been missing in Houston since Gary Kubiak got there. You know he's a bell cow by looking at those 33 carries today. They believe in him, and that's how you beat Indy. You're able to pound the run and get some good quarterback play. And I think when you look at that Houston team, I think there's some big expectations for them this year, and maybe they can finally get over the hump in the AFC South.
They had trouble beating Indianapolis, and they came up with a big win at home over the Colts, 34-24. Right here, Seahawks with a 2nd and 6 on their own 17-yard line. Off the play fake pressure from Paris Harrelson, the short pass to Michael Robinson, and he's hit immediately by Patrick Willis. Time for an update on the Green Bay-Philadelphia game. Let's go to Kurt Menefee.
And so far, Sam, it has been all Green Bay Packers. Greg Jennings, 32 yards from Aaron Rodgers. 2nd TD pass of the game for Rodgers is 27-10. Packers in firm control early in the 4th quarter. Sam and Tim?
Thanks, Kurt. And as Kurt told us earlier, Kevin Cobb went out with a concussion. Michael Vick quarterbacking the Eagles now.
I don't know about you, but I expected growing pains and still do for Philadelphia without Donovan McNabb.
Quick toss to Forsett. He got by Patrick Willis, but not much else there. And then Willis caught up along with Justin Smith. And the Seahawks go 3 and out. Good defensive work by the 49ers. If you joined us late, 49ers, their first 3 possessions were inside the Seahawk 10-yard line. Thought they had a touchdown on their first possession. It was called a touchdown on a pass to Josh Morgan, but challenged and overruled on an incompletion. Didn't complete. Came down with only 1 foot inbounds. And they settled for a field goal. Then they marched 85 yards down the 1 and didn't get in on a 4th down play. Punt is a short one. Phillip Adams on the field, the rookie. Rolls in favor of Seattle. Back to the San Francisco 33-yard line. Seahawks think going well for them. Alex Smith has to find a way to get his team back in the game. '49ers start from their own 33-yard line. Alex Smith, 22 for 37, 192 yards, 2 interceptions. One by Jordan Babineau that led to a touchdown. The other one by Marcus Trufant returned for a touchdown. Frank Gore in the backfield takes the handoff. Fights his way for a hard 2 yards up to the 35-yard line. Only the 4th carry by Frank Gore here in the 2nd half. And don't forget, the playoff races in baseball heading for the finish line, and we will follow them for you then. Post-game, post-season coverage. The National League Championship Series, October 16th on Fox, and then the World Series on Fox. Chris Clemens, he's had a lot of pressures on the quarterback, a lot of hits on the quarterback, just as he did there. They hit on Alex Smith, forcing a bad pass.
And he is relishing the starting opportunity here in Seattle. D-line play and pass rush play is all about get off. Watch him get off the snap. He's going to be gone before Staley even gets out of his stance. He's already got the advantage. He just turns on the heat, rolls his hips past Joe, gets a nice hit on Alex Smith.
Tim asked Chris Clemens, how do you work on your speed? He said, I chase my little cousins around the house.
He goes, honestly, chasing them little dudes.
Here's 3rd and 8. Smith, everybody out. Nobody on the sideline. He threw it away. Again, pressure. Seattle defense doing a real good job. They are just preventing San Francisco from getting even close to getting back in this game.
And they've got the quarterback confused. They've got the receivers confused on what they're seeing pre-snap and what they're seeing post-snap. I cannot give Pete Carroll and Gus Bradley enough credit. I mean, when you think of this defense and the new scheme and plugging in some new players. They have been on their game today since about, I don't know, right at about the start of the second quarter, and they haven't looked back.
Andy Lee with a good punt that bounces down, takes a Seattle bounce, and goes out of bounds around the 26-yard line. Seahawks in control with a 28-6 lead. The man in the baseball cap with a goatee, that's Jeff Ulbrich, one-time outstanding player for the 49ers as an inside linebacker and special teams player. He's now the assistant special teams coach for the Seattle Seahawks. And the 49ers were concerned.
Yeah, you think he gave any inside information? Like the playbook?
Justin Forsett trying to get outside. There's a flag on the play. Was brought down by Michael Lewis. Looks like a holding coming up.
Holding, offense number 86. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
On Chris Baker, the tight end, we go to the other Chris, the good Chris, Chris Myers.
Well, Sam, the 49ers tried to downplay that. You talk about a former 49er like Jeff Ulbrich bringing information. Michael Robinson, you mentioned earlier, even Scott McCloughan, who's in the personnel department of Seattle. I asked Jeff Ulbrich before the game. I said, you know, Zed, talked about players change teams all the time, but in this case, could it really make a difference? And he smiled as if to say, yeah, today it's going to make a difference. So, Tim, that might be part of the preparation, the adjustments that you were talking about. Pete Carroll, Gus Bradley, well, this entire Seahawk team knowing the 49er personnel and a lot about their game plan.
Yeah, and as smart as Jeff is and understands game plans and installation, he knows a lot more information and brought a lot of that with him up here in Seattle. Why wouldn't they tap into it?
On a little pump and go, the completion to Carlson, who was grabbed and held by Michael Lewis. John Carlson, good job of making the catch.
And again, these double moves taking advantage of the 49ers' aggression on defense.
Holding, defense number 22. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
They called on Nate Clements. I thought it was, I may have been wrong, but I thought it was Michael Lewis that grabbed John Carlson. But nevertheless, it's a first down.
I think if you're Greg Minuski, and obviously you're not happy with the way this game has gone, the 28 points, but 175 yards of total offense for the Seahawks. They have been, you know, the defense for San Francisco has slammed the door shut on the running game, not even 2 yards per carry. Greg knows what happened. They took 2 chances in the first half, trying to make a play with Nate Clements jumping around, with Terrell Brown jumping around, and they absolutely got bit.
Officials trying to decide where the change should be. Certainly they were moving the Seahawks back.
First down. Therefore, they took the first down penalty.
Okay, so the receiver had not gotten to the first down marker. I think I heard Mike Carey say.
Behind the penalty, second down, short.
Second down and 1 is what it's going to be.
Okay.
They're going to decline the hold, and they're going to take the 9 yards.
Why wouldn't you just take the first down? It's an automatic first down on the penalty.
You guys moved it back in, right? Okay, so.
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense, does it?
Okay, Mike Carey coming over to talk to Pete Carroll. Very uncharacteristic of Mike Carey. Usually he's very certain on his calls and moves everything along quickly. Right here, some long decisions to be made here, long discussions. There were smiles on the play. Now they're moving the ball up. Let's see. Okay.
The penalty is declined, second down.
Okay, so they decline the penalty, accept the play, and it's going to be a 2nd and 1 at the 34-yard line. The 34. And Justin Forsett trying to cut back. comes up short of the first down.
So basically, they just took the extra 4 yards after the 5-yard hold. So instead of it being 5 yards and first down, it was going to be 2nd and 1 with a 9-yard gain. Here's those double moves, and Nate Clements going to take a bite right here on an out and up. Totally set up by Matt Hasselbeck and Mike Williams, knowing Nate and what his reputation is. And then Terrell Brown here on a hitch and go is going to bite the little hitch move by Deion Butler. And again, Matt, knowing the aggression of this defense and these guys that take chances, was able to exploit it 2 times.
This is not a good sign. On the field is Manny Lawson, the outside linebacker, having trouble getting up here. Take another moment here. The medical team checks him out. Spoke earlier talking with Greg Minuski, the defensive coordinator. They're counting on Manny Lawson to be an important part of generating some pass rush on this team.
He's got to get it going. And I think when you look at the 3-4 defense, and what makes it so good is you can really set up your guys to attack protections. And Greg Minuski knows by design he can get Manny Lawson matched up on running backs, rushing the passer, and when he does, Manny's absolutely got to win.
Lawson gets up and walking off under his own power. Replaced by Travis LeBoy. And as he walks off, we'll step out for a moment. Next week, Fox NFL Sunday begins with a great all-new Ford Edge Drive 1 pregame show, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Bears and the Cowboys early. Seattle at Denver, St. Louis at Oakland. 49ers will play a Monday night game at home against New Orleans. Justin Forsett breaking free, making a couple of moves before he's finally wrestled down at the 49ers 33-yard line. Outstanding run and good blocking up front by the Seahawks to spring Justin Forsett.
And Max Unger may have got away with one here. Watch as he's on Ray McDonald. Had his hand gripping on Ray's jersey. Ray could not disengage and get to the ball carrier. We got to be impressed with that little guy. Just elusive vision. Not the fastest guy when you time him in the 40, but always picking up positive yards. And why, that's why he was drafted in the 7th round. Didn't run fast at the combine in Indianapolis.
Julius Jones in the game. Carries down to the 31-yard line. That run by Forsett was 32 yards. A man who's running all over the field is Chris Myers.
Yeah, and Manny Lawson returned. He had the wind knocked out of him, obviously available to go the rest of the game here. But Ted Ginn Jr. for the 49er offense, Sam Tim, a left knee strain. He is out for the remainder of this game, and they'll check on it during the week.
All right, thanks, Chris. Julius Jones and Quinton Ganther in the backfield for Seattle. Time growing short on San Francisco. Jones. Nice little cutback getting inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line. Michael Lewis made the tackle.
If he pops that a little wider to the outside, he may still be running. It was just a huge opening to the outside. He didn't see it. Julius Jones and ducked it up inside right where the traffic was.
They'll rotate 3 backs to do most of the running, and that'll be Forsett, Julius Jones, and Leon Washington, who showed us that he's got his health back and his running speed back.
And I think that's one area when you look at them, start talking about their short yardage and their ability to run big. They don't have a big fullback. They don't have a big running back on this roster.
3rd and 4. Blitz coming. Forsett straight ahead, and he's got a first down. Good job by the Seattle Seahawks. Well, in August, Jerry Rice, the greatest receiver of them all, was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame, and next week he will be honored in San Francisco in their home opener on a Monday night. He will be going into the 49ers Hall of Fame, and the cheers will ring down for the greatest receiver of them all, Jerry Rice.
Surprised you at all at the Hall of Fame when he said he never took time to enjoy it? Just because of how his perspective was and his mentality and how he looked at the game.
Julius Jones, no gain on the play. And for more on Jerry Rice, we go down to Chris Myers.
Well, Pete Carroll bringing that college atmosphere to the NFL and a San Francisco native. As training camp was winding down, he played a video of Jerry Rice in front of his entire team to show the level of greatness and how he kept that great level consistently going. And he asked his players, if you could ask Jerry Rice, what would you ask him? They had a number of questions, and Pete surprised him. He said, well, ask him yourself. He brought Jerry Rice to the Seahawk practice. There was a standing ovation from the entire team. So just another ex-49er providing inspiration for Seattle and Pete Carroll.
That's good stuff, Chris. Leon Washington bounces off, and then walk down at the 20-yard line. Don't forget, following the action on the field, we've got the best post-game show going. That's the OT. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Jimmy, and Michael in the studio. They'll have interviews, highlights, a look at next week's games. The OT presented by Lowe's coming up right after the action here in Seattle. Pete Carroll, who was a defensive coordinator in San Francisco, said he learned a lot from Bill Walsh, who was a consultant at the time when he was there.
And may have been the only guy on that staff that wasn't afraid to go down and pound on his door and ask him questions. Pete grew up a 49er fan. He was born in the city and moved over to Marin where he grew up, so then worked for San Francisco. Tremendous respect I know he has for the organization.
Forsett carrying is stopped on the third down run, but the 49ers in position to kick a field goal. That brings out one of the best in the NFL, Olindo Mare, who is riding a streak of 21 consecutive successful field goals dating back to September 27th of last season. He was 24 for 26 last season. He's only missed 5 over the last 2 seasons. 48 for 53. And this one from 35 yards is true, right down the middle. Olindo Mare's first of the season, and the streak is down 22 consecutive field goals made, and a big 25-point lead for the Seattle Seahawks.
I am shocked. I did not see this coming. And this offense today, and it all looked good in the first quarter. The missed opportunities, and then they never got opportunities again. I mean, they couldn't get any movement at the point of attack on some short yardage plays. They did throw a touchdown early that was under review, and Josh Morgan did not get both feet down. Alex had a clear touchdown a couple of drives later to Moran Norris. Could not make a good throw to Moran when he was just so wide open. I mean, they have once again, and then how they've handled the play clock. They have self-destructed when you really look at what they've been able to achieve up here on this field today. And I know Mike is absolutely disappointed. This team's got to learn to win on the road. They were 2-6 on the road a year ago.
They lost only one division game last season. That was here in Seattle.
It was a lot like this one.
Division.
Although Alex threw much better in that game.
And it was
Alex
a closer game.
Yeah, 17-17 down to the end, and then they kicked a field goal. But that was a career high for Alex Smith that day, right. 310 yards.
With Ted Ginn out with the knee sprain, Josh Morgan is back to return the kickoff. There's number 84 standing on the goal line. Olindo Mare, low line drive kick. And Morgan takes it at the 4. Almost ran into his own man, Terrell Brown, and then he gets taken down on the play by Walter Thurman, the rookie out of Oregon. Don't forget, tomorrow starts a week-long of lunch with benefits. 1 o'clock Eastern time. Log on to foxsports.com and you'll see one-of-a-kind sports shows online on your computer. Jay Glazer with the after party tomorrow. Top players and performers from today's games will be on with him. Tuesday, it's Coach Speak and Cheap Seats with Brian Biller. You don't want to miss that. 6 defensive backs in for the Seahawks. Alex Smith works out of the shotgun. He's 22 for 39, 192 yards, 2 interceptions. The screen to Frank Gore, and he is hit hard by Jordan Babineau. Babineau, as an extra defensive back, has done a good job. He's had an interception that set up a touchdown, and he's done a good job from a guy who was released.
Yeah, they knew they were bringing him back, though. Really good player, good game today.
Last 2 years, Arizona's won the division championship. 49ers felt they were ready to challenge and take over with all the changes going on in Arizona, especially at quarterback. Now Seattle, a quick start for them. And the Rams in a tight one with Arizona in St. Louis. Arizona's just taking the lead there. Alex Smith from the 13, working out of the shotgun. Going too high for Vernon Davis, and diving attempt made for the interception by Earl Thomas. Well, let's update Arizona at St. Louis. Here's Kurt Menefee.
Relying on Derek Anderson as their quarterback now, and he comes through. You got Larry Fitzgerald that open. You should come through. 21-yard score. Arizona takes the lead over St. Louis with 6 minutes to go. 17-13. Sam and Tim.
Thanks, Kurt. Larry Fitzgerald missed a lot of the preseason with a knee injury, but he's healthy, and he is arguably the best receiver in the NFL. Alex Smith turns, swings it to Frank Gore. Gore is caught from behind, brought down short of the 20-yard line. Don't forget the OT is coming up following our game here. Complete post-game coverage. We've got all the guys in the studio ready to go. They'll give you their analysis. They'll have highlights, interviews, and a look at next week's games as well. The OT brought to you by Lowe's. And before we get to them, we've got the finish of Green Bay at Philadelphia, with Green Bay leading 27-20. A little over 5 minutes to go in that game.
Boy, these 49ers have been humbled here today, haven't they? I mean, all the expectations, talking to him coming in, all the excitement for Alex. He did not play good today. And then on the other side of it, I'm as disappointed as I think most are in San Francisco with this performance. You got to be that much impressed, or as much impressed.
Timeout.
San Francisco there first.
That play didn't count because Pete Carroll was running down the sideline on the field, actually, trying to get the officials' attention, calling a timeout. I don't know if it was wrong personnel or what it was, but he needed to call a timeout.
Yeah, just let me finish that thought on as disappointed as the 49ers and all their fans and all their following is. I am just as much surprised at what Pete Carroll and this team has been able to do with all the changes. I mean, so many personnel moves, and to come out here and throw up 31 points in the opener, and I know he had help from his defense. Very, very impressive.
Our producer today, Mike Burks, the director, Greg Scopatoni, the associate director, Tom Yohe, broadcast associate, Matt Saldana, studio show produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy, the associate producer, Stephanie Medina, the highlights coordinator, Janice Casaza, and the studio technical supervisor, Jack Simmons. Our thanks to our great men in the booth, Gary Lynn, our spotter, and Emmett McGuire, our stat man, and our whole crew. Oh, you can't say enough about what Seattle did, and it started so badly for them. An interception on the first play of the game from scrimmage, and then 2 3-and-outs. Smith throwing, what a catch by Josh Morgan. Marcus Trufant took him down, but Morgan with a great leaping grab.
You know, that's his ability now. And you talk about that defense in San Francisco and started out good and then kind of phased out, fizzled out for sure. It's about this group right here. I think that defensive line for the Seattle Seahawks have controlled this game today.
Smith steps up and throws for Morgan. That's broken up by Trufant. With 38 seconds remaining. As soon as we're done here, we're going to send you to Philadelphia for the conclusion of the Green Bay-Philadelphia game. Philly has come back after being way down, and the injury to Kevin Cobb got knocked out of the game with a concussion, but it's now 27-20 Green Bay. A little over 5 minutes to go. We'll take you there for some bonus football coverage, and then the OT presented by Lowe's. Kurt, Howie, Jimmy, Michael, and Terry in the studio. We'll get everything covered for you on this NFL kickoff weekend.
Still bringing the heat.
Oh, down he goes.
They are still bringing the heat.
The sack by Dexter Davis, the rookie out of Arizona State, 7th-round draft pick, getting a chance. They feel he can be a good pass rusher.
Well, he had 31 sacks at Arizona State. You don't get to the quarterback in Division I college football that many times and not be a good player. And that time he just ran right around Anthony Davis over at right tackle and then took out a running back and still got the sack.
Smith throws, completes to Vernon Davis. He is wrestled down by 3 Seahawks, and that's it. The Seattle Seahawks begin the Pete Carroll era with a huge win, 31-16 over division rival San Francisco. The defense sparks the comeback, and the Seahawks win it. We'll be back in just a moment.